After watching all those Marvel movies, you might think living in those awesome superhero cities would be cool, right? Wrong! Let's see how long you'd last in these amazing places. Number 5, New York City. First up, we're headed to Spider-Man's New York. Seems cool, right? No, it's not. This isn't regular New York with its normal chaos and expensive coffee. This is superhero New York, which means your morning commute now includes dodging falling buildings, aliens, and weird chemical compounds falling from the sky. The moment you step outside your apartment, your survival checklist begins. First, check for spider webs on doorknobs. That stuff is everywhere and takes forever to come off. Try explaining to your boss why you're late and entangled in webbing. Ever had to call in late for work? Imagine saying, "Sorry boss, I got stuck in Spider-Man's web while getting coffee." Let's talk about your apartment. You're paying $4K a month for a tiny box with a view of a wall that's still broken when the lizard threw a car through it 3 months ago. Your insurance won't cover it because they called it an active reptile, which is apparently not covered under property damage liability, and you thought your landlord was bad for not fixing your leaky sink. And don't get me started on getting around town. You're just trying to get to work, but the subway is late again because some guy with metal arms is smashing up the tracks. So you think, I'll just walk. Terrible idea. Now you're stuck in the middle of Spider-Man's latest fight. You run into the nearest corner store for safety, but that place has been robbed by 8 different animal-themed bad guys this month alone. The store cat now hides in the ceiling whenever the door opens. Think your commute is bad? At least you don't have to dodge supervillains on your way to work. Remember when aliens came through a hole in the sky above Stark Tower? Yeah, that happens every Tuesday now. Every Tuesday! The city doesn't even evacuate anymore. They just send a text. The aliens attacking downtown. Take another route and bring an umbrella for falling space parts. Ever get annoyed by those emergency alert tests on your phone? At least they're not warning you about actual aliens. Number 4, Wakanda. Moving on to Wakanda, and I know what you're thinking. A super advanced hidden African nation? Sign me up! But hold up. Despite all that special metal and those cool gadgets, this isn't the peaceful tech paradise you're imagining. Day 1 in Wakanda, you'd be walking around amazed by all the cool technology until you accidentally bump into something important looking. Boom! Suddenly you're surrounded by the Dora Milaje, those scary women with spears pointed at your throat faster than you could say, "I'm just a tourist." Those spears aren't just for show. They'll actually stab you while looking stunning doing it. Ever had an awkward airport security check? This is like that. Except they can kill you. The tech gap is so big that your iPhone looks like a rock with buttons drawn on it. You try to take a selfie and before you can even share it, the princess has already hacked your phone, made your camera better, fixed your terrible filter, and probably sent you money to your mom because she looked worried in your photos. Think your phone is fancy? In Wakanda, they give that stuff to toddlers as toys. Come to think of it, we kind of do that now, don't we? Wait a minute, does Wakanda have iPad kids? I wonder what they watch. Then there's the local customs. When you think you're giving someone a friendly thumbs up, you might actually be challenging them to a fight to the death. Now you're fighting someone who's been training since they were 5, while you get out of breath going upstairs. The average Wakandan kid could beat you up without even trying. Remember how embarrassed you felt when you tripped in public that one time? In Wakanda, that same mistake might mean you have to fight the king. The Black Panther will protect us. Sure, he will. When he's not busy with his own family drama. One day, T'Challa is your king. The next day, someone fights him. And suddenly, you've got a new boss who might completely change how the country works overnight. Imagine if your boss had to physically fight anyone who wanted their job. That's how Wakanda works. Ever had workplace drama? Try living where leadership changes happen through combat. But the worst thing about Wakanda? The place is a giant trouble magnet. You've got neighboring countries trying to invade for their special metal. You've got angry princes coming back for revenge. You have straight up alien armies showing up at your borders. And when those fights start, you better hope you're not caught in the middle between super soldiers, armored rhinos, and aliens with spaceships. Your neighborhood might have that one noisy house, but Wakanda attracts space wars. Number 3, Asgard and New Asgard. Let's move on to Asgard, home of Thor and his hammer. Oh wait, we can't because the whole place got completely annihilated. That's right, the entire home of the gods, gone. That's Asgard's whole deal. Everything is either super fancy or totally wrecked. No in between. Before it blew up, Asgard had a few problems for normal humans. First issue, everything is built for gods. Doors weigh 500 pounds. Chairs are made of solid gold that would hurt to sit on. And drinks come in mugs that would break your back just trying to lift them. Think your gym weights are heavy? In Asgard, their coffee mugs weigh heavier than your PR. Hungry? Hope you like meat that's been sitting around for hundreds of years because that's what's on the menu. Your stomach would shut down faster than Loki can tell a lie. Remember that time you got food poisoning from that sketchy gas station sandwich? That's nothing compared to eating Asgardian leftovers. The people aren't much better. Asgardians see humans as weak babies. And are they wrong? Try to join a conversation and they'll pat your head and say things like, "Oh, look at the little human trying to think," while drinking stuff that would kill you just from smelling it. Ever felt out of place at a party? Try being the only human at an Asgardian feast. And the safety? Terrible. Ice giants can attack any time. Dark elves might show up to destroy everything. Hela, the death goddess, could return from prison and start killing everyone. Just a normal day in Thor's neighborhood. But hey, it's just a normal day in Thor's neighborhood. After Asgard's destruction, the survivors created New Asgard, that sad fishing village in Norway. The weather is awful, not because Norway is normally rainy, but because Thor has mood issues. Thor's sad about losing a video game 13 times in a row? Congrats, you now have 3 weeks of non-stop thunderstorms. Your clothes will never dry. Ever check the weather app and it's completely wrong? In New Asgard, the weather depends on a god's feelings. Even the food is weird. The local grocery store now has an Asgardian food section with 1,000-year-old meats that make you speak weird old languages after eating them. And just when you think things are normal, some random enemy of Asgard shows up looking for a fight. Could be ice giants, could be some god Thor insulted 500 years ago. Either way, your quiet fishing town is suddenly ground zero for a god battle. Number 2, Sokovia. Unlike New York, this little European country won't slowly kill you with high rent prices and daily aliens. Instead, it literally got ripped from the ground and dropped when Ultron decided to turn the entire country into a giant rock from space. That's about 3 times worse than any natural disaster, just for your information. But what if you're tough enough to handle your entire country being used as a weapon? Even then, Sokovia has more problems. This place was home to evil Hydra experiments for years, with secret underground labs full of super soldier potions and mind control tech. If it wasn't Ultron trying to kill everyone, it was Nazi scientists using your neighbors as lab rats. Think your neighbor who never mows his lawn is annoying? In Sokovia, he might be plotting world domination. Even if by some miracle the floating cities and evil scientists didn't get you, there's always a chance of getting hurt when the Avengers show up to help. These supposed heroes might seem great until they basically wreck your entire country while saving it. Imagine watching helplessly as Captain America uses your car as a weapon, Iron Man blasts through your living room, or Scarlet Witch accidentally mind controls you into running naked through town. Ever had a bad neighbor? At least they didn't bring superpower battles to your street. And if all that wasn't enough, Sokovia's money became worthless after the whole floating city thing, meaning even if you somehow didn't get crushed to death, your savings would be worth nothing. It would be like trying to use your bank card after your bank was literally lifted into space. Not happening. Ever had money troubles? Try having your entire financial system destroyed by robots. Number 1, the Quantum Realm. Next up is the Quantum Realm, that weird tiny dimension from Ant-Man. If you think being lost in a mall is confusing, the Quantum Realm is like being drunk and upside down in an IKEA full of strobe lights. First day in, and you're already dealing with time loops, weird spaces, and colors that don't even exist. The moment you shrink down to quantum size, your first challenge is breathing. The air molecules are now bigger than your entire body. What does that even mean for breathing? No one knows. The scientists who could explain it are too busy being trapped in there themselves. Let's talk about your daily life. Wake up. If waking up even makes sense when time moves differently, depending on where you're standing. Eat breakfast, except food is now made of tiny particles that might turn you into goo or let you talk to ants. Go to work, if you can find it, since places in the quantum realm move around and your commute might last 5 minutes or 500 years, depending on which path you take. Ever gotten lost following GPS directions? Try following directions in a place where left and yesterday mean the same thing. The locals aren't much help either. Quantum beings look at you like you're the weird one for wanting things like normal time or physics that make sense. Ask for directions and they'll tell you stuff like 3 lefts past the time swirl, then turn yesterday. They expect you to navigate in 5 dimensions when you could barely find your car in a parking lot. And do not get me started on the water bears. On Earth, these tiny creatures are cute little microscopic animals, but in the quantum realm, they're bus-sized monsters that want to eat you. They can digest you across several timelines at once. Not a fun way to go. I would know. Ever had bad heartburn? This is like that, but in multiple dimensions at once. The worst part? If you complained, the quantum beings would just stare at you. totally confused about why you don't enjoy living in a place where time might go backward and your body could suddenly turn into energy. Ant-Man might call it quantum science, but you call it the worst trip ever. So next time you watch a Marvel movie and think, oh gee, that place looks cool, remember, the only superpower that would actually help you in these cities is the ability to live literally anywhere else.